The so-called CIA torture psychologists have reached a settlement which is being heralded as a major win for human rights. Doctors Bruce Jessen and James Mitchell, the architects of the CIA's enhanced interrogation program, settled with the ACLU this week. And as RT correspondent Anya Parampil explains, it's the first legal victory of its kind.
Doctors Jessen and Mitchell collaborated with the CIA as psychologists to develop methods of torture used at CIA black sites and prisons, including the infamous Guantanamo Bay location. Now, both doctors have reached a settlement with the ACLU, which is calling the development a historic victory.
This is a historic victory for our clients and the rule of law. This outcome shows that there are consequences for torture, and that survivors can and will hold those responsible for torture accountable. It is a clear warning for anyone who thinks they can torture with impunity.
The ACLU filed a lawsuit against the doctors on behalf of 3 victims of their program, including one man, Gul Rahman, who died as a result of their techniques. Techniques they were paid $81 million by the CIA to design. A CIA report declassified last year documented the torture of Rahman.
Treated Rahman harshly because of Rahman's alleged stature, his uncompromising reaction to the interrogation and lack of cooperation, the pressure on to break him, and lack of experience with a committed interrogation resister. On November 2002, ordered or approved the guards placing Rahman in the short chain position, whereby he was compelled to sit on the concrete floor of his cell. Rahman was only clothed in a sweatshirt. This act directly led to Rahman's death by hypothermia.
CIA whistleblower John Kiriakou exposed one torture tactic, the agency's use of waterboarding in 2007. For blowing the whistle, to this date, Kiriakou is the only individual to serve time in prison for anything related to the CIA's torture program. And as the ACLU explains, until now, every lawsuit trying to hold people accountable for the CIA torture program has been dismissed at initial stages because the government successfully argued that letting the cases proceed would reveal state secrets. Speaking to RT, Kiriakou celebrated the news.
This is absolutely a precedent for other victims to seek justice. Of course, there are some who I think the CIA would fight because their cases are very sensitive. But there are so many other people who were senselessly tortured for no reason, people who had no ties to terrorism, but were just in the wrong place in the wrong time. It's going to enable them to seek justice and to seek monetary compensation. Frankly, I think the CIA dodged a bullet here. Now, there is a second case. The American Civil Liberties Union has filed a case on behalf of Abu Zubaydah, arguing that the CIA and Mitchell and Jessen tortured Abu Zubaydah. That case is going to be more sensitive, so the CIA hasn't really put the issue in its entirety behind it yet. We have to wait and see what happens with Abu Zubaydah. My guess is that because the Abu Zubaydah case is so much more serious, because Abu Zubaydah was the guinea pig of the CIA's torture program, that the CIA will seek to have that case dismissed.
Mitchell and Jessen's contract with the CIA was terminated in 2009. In 2014, a Senate torture report on torture determined no useful intelligence was produced by their techniques. In 2015, a report conducted by medical professionals and human rights activists accused the American Psychological Association of coordinating with the CIA to shield and endorse the torture program. Several months later, the APA voted to ban its members from participating in torture. In Washington, Anya Parampil, RT.